Welcome, Hornet Nation, to a Sunday afternoon, evening edition of your favorite Edina Bantam Hornet hockey team. Coming to you live from historic Braemar Arena West, where your Hornets will be taking on the New Prague Trojans once again. It's often said that familiarity breeds contempt. And after 2 losses in a row, the Hornets could certainly use some fighting spirit to come out and take care of business tonight. Get back in the win column as we build momentum early in this season. So we're moments away from puck drop. We got Bergmeyer, Wilkins, and Ewers. We're switching up the lines every game now. I don't know. Backed up by Mizzle, which is good to see him back, and Darlene. So away we go. Boys back and forth in the neutral zone as both teams trying to gain dominance. Here comes Ewers in the high slot. Mizzle, toe drags. Stick checked away, and here come the Trojans with numbers as they gain on the left side. 3-on-1. Mizzle racing back. Errant pass across the crease, and Wiggins swings it up to Ewers. A bit too far for Ewers, and the Trojans throw it right back down into the Hornet zone. Hornets collecting. Looking for an outlet pass. Darlene shoves it all the way around. Mizzle looks up ice. Slapped away. Now controlled by the Trojans as they try to work in and get a shot off. Wheeling around the net. Showing composure back to the point. A shot banked off Wilkins' pads. Mizzle dispatches his man. He's going to get a penalty. Cross check. So the Trojans will have an early man advantage with 14:03 left. No score in this contest. So it seemed like Mizzle just kind of pushed his guy down, but the ref feels different. And away we go. So Ivy and Hester on to burn this one off, along with Potter and Potts. Potts tying up the puck in the corner, doing a good job, wasting time. Trojans come away behind the net, looking to center. All the way around the circle, looking, wheeling, dealing, down low. Looking for an outlet pass right there in front. Short side shot goes flying over. Nothing doing. The puck sneaks out of the zone. Trojans will have to recollect. Hester doing a good job holding his man down deep. Ivany disrupting play as the Trojans are having a hard time breaking through. Now through the neutral zone, over the line. Looking, stopping short. Back to the point. Down low to the circle. Looking across. Looking. There's the centering pass. It's out front. No shot. Now it's out front. Banged away again. Ivany disrupting play. Now controlling. Ivany with speed. Rolling through the neutral zone. Gaining on the left side. A long shot. Tough handle for the Trojan tender. But no worse for the wear, as here come the Trojans through the red line. Throwing it down deep into the Hornet zone, where Bauer just slaps it off to Darlene, a little bit too far for Nolan. So this line, we got Nolan Dorsey on the kill, backed up by Darlene and Bauer. Dorsey handles, throws it across to Bauer, slips it up to Nolan. Nolan tried to center it out. Back to Darlene. Darlene now is going to take it himself. With speed down the left side, walks his way in. A long shot deflected by a defender. And Nolan chases into the corner. Darlene throws it in, and we'll get an offside with 12:16. No score for those joining. It feels like we just played New Prague, and in fact we did. And we handled them. So we're looking for more of the same as Bergmeyer and Wilkins come on. Backed up by Darlene and Bauer. Bergie on the draw, tied it up, comes to the wall. Errant pass, sends it all the way down into the Trojan end. Trojans looking to break out, long stretch pass through the neutral zone, trying to handle it. Bergmeyer knocks his man off the puck. Long flutter pass over to Wilkins, just a stick too far, but there's Bauer on the trailer. Bauer sending it over the line to Bergmeyer. It stops short. Now it's Ewers right in the high slot. A long shot, a tip. Nothing. Bergmeyer pushes his man into the wall. Both teams at full strength now. Back to the point. Potts fires. High shot over the net. Ewers now contains on the wall, sends it back to Bauer. Bauer looks across, intercepted, and here come the Trojans. 2-on-2 situation. Offsides, offsides, offsides. And Nolan Kravita and Ferrara come on. Puck slides all the way back into the Hornet zone, where Potter picks it up. Reverses course over to Ferrara. Ferrara throwing up. I don't see Helmer. Is Helmer here today? He might be out. Potter throws his man into the wall. Puck sent over to the near side wall. Getting back to the point, a cranker! And up into the webbing. So we'll do it again. Potter circling behind the net, throws it back down to the near side corner for Ferrara. Oh, stolen at the point, or at the circle. Trojans doing a good job forechecking and keeping Edina down tight in their own zone. Kravita battling his man. Here comes Potts throwing it up. It's held at the point. Trojans with a long shot, wafted away by Quick. It's right out there. It's banged away. Well done. Trojans with a good forecheck here as they're showing composure. From the point, off the shin pads. Now a break for the Hornets. Kravita tries to get his lumber around. He doesn't. Held there, exchanging blows in the neutral zone. There's a chip shot. Sneaks past, but it goes down safely into the Trojan zone where they just slap it out for an icing. So we're missing Tyler Bambry and Preston Helmer. They had a tough time getting a full complement of skaters. I think Helmer's at the Packer game. Ivany Dorsey and Hester out there now, backed up by Mizzle and Darlene. Dorsey from the wall, sends it to Mizzle, back down to Dorsey. Chases in the corner, now it comes back to the point. Mizzle throws it on net. Out front, nobody home for the rebound. Now the Trojans pick it up, it goes long, and this will be an icing. And we shall do it again with 9:57 on the clock. Ivany on the drop to the right of the Trojan tender, comes to the wall to Dorsey. Dorsey back to Mizzle. Mizzle throws it in front. Ivany trying to get to it. It sneaks past, and here come the Trojans with numbers. 3-on-2, odd man rush as they gain the line and walk in. Drop pass into the high slot. Nobody home to receive it. Now it's down low, and Mizzle will be there to chase it in the corner. We're going to get some sort of penalty. A trip. Don't know who it's on. And Darlene gets the gate. So once again, the Hornets are shorthanded. And Ivany and Dorsey will be there with Bauer and Potter to kill. Off the draw, Potter tied up in the corner. The Trojans look to center it from behind the net. All the way out to the circle. It dribbles back to the point. It's held in. And is slapped away by Bauer, who gets it out of the zone. Dorsey trying to pickpocket there at the red line. And the Trojans send it back in their own zone. D pass as they try to get something going. Now up the right side. Gaining on the right, rolling in. All the way around. Potter keeping his man to the outside. Nobody on the centering pass. Back to the point. Slid back down into the corner. Bauer gives chase. Ties up his man, slides it up the boards, and it comes to the point again. Out of the zone, Trojans will have to reconnect as they go D. Trojans dancing across the red line as they gain on the left side and throw it down deep. Bauer holding his man, pinches him out, and Potter tries to sneak it up the boards, chisel style. Nothing doing, says the Trojans. They send it back to the point. They look, down to the wall. Out front in the slot, tied up there by Ivany. Good job there, Ivany. disrupting play. Out front, swept away by Quick. Here's a shot. Oh, here comes Ivany. Rolling. Bring the thunder, Ivany. Come on now. Oh, and he loses the handle at the last second. He's going to want that one back. As the Trojans build speed through the neutral zone. I'm not sure what their strategy is here. They keep bringing it back in their own zone. Maybe it's a line change. I don't know, as they slide it down into the Hornet zone. Missile picks it up, overskates, still holding his man, recovers. Up to the wall, slides all the way down to the point. Sticked aside by Quickie and back to the other point. Long shot into the breadbasket and covered up. 7:39, no score. Hornets still shorthanded. For the next 1 second, Darlene is now out. Both teams full strength. Darlene out of the box, picks up the puck, looks up ice, long stretch pass, all the way up to Ewers. Ewers gains on the right side. Rolling in, trying to center it, still in his skates, and the Trojans recover and go back the other way. Long stretch pass doesn't connect, and Mizzle will be there to handle. Bergmeyer knocks his man off the puck. There's a cranker a mile wide, just a bit outside, as the Trojans look to regain. Across the red line, they just dish it in, pitchfork style. Quickie stops it short. Darlene now surveys to Mizzle. Mizzle knocked off the puck. He gets it up to Wilkins. Wilkins on the wall, tries to get it up, held at the point. Trojans rolling in, looking for a centering pass. Stopped by Mizzle. Well done. Trojans still tenacious. And it sneaks past the defender, and it goes all the way down, and the Hornets go for a line change. Puck slides around to the near side wall. Trojans start their breakout as they roll up the ice. Hornets doing a good job containing him down low. Wilkins in there disrupting plays. Sent back to Potter. Potter looks across. Bank pass up to Nolan. Just a little bit too far, and the Trojans now gain the line. Long shot, waffled away by Quickie. Trojan center, knocked out there by Nolan. Back to the point. Quick shot, deflected by their own man. As the Trojans look to gain another shot advantage. Tied up on the boards. Nolan tries to rub his man out. Bauer doing the same. A lot of rubbing going on. As Nolan comes away, and now he rolls up through the slot area. Tries to get it up to Kurvita. It's a foot race. And no icing called. Slides back to Nolan. Nolan looking for a centering pass. Nobody home out front. Nolan still looking. Sends it back to Potter. Potter down low again to Nolan. Shoveled all the way across to Bauer. Bauer slaps it down into the corner. Kurvita there to meet his man. Ferrara in to help out. Kurvita looking. Still on it, looking for a center. There it is to Ferrara. Oh, just off his stick, and here come the Trojans on the reverse. Chipping it up the wall, trying to get around Potter. Potter, nicely done. The trailer comes in. Ferrara beats him. And the puck is gloved. With 5:10 remaining in the first. Who will be the first to break the ice? I don't know. Face off to the left of Quickie. Ivany sends it down into the corner. Darlene now up the wall, just a little bit too hot for Dorsey. A long shot, legged away by Quick. Hornets having a tough time breaking out. There's a shot right in the slot. Hit traffic. Dorsey comes away with it with speed. Rolling up, crossing the blue line. Looking for a center. Back to Hester. Hester curls, burns, turns. Back to Potter. Potter, long shot. Gloved away by the Trojan tender. Good puck movement by the Hornets. But alas, nothing. So Ivany, Dorsey, and Hester backed up by Mizzle and Bauer. Hester tying up his man on the wall. Ivany in to help out. Back to the point to Bauer. Bauer Stick checked. Here come the Trojans. Stick checked away by Bauer. It's a 2-on-1 situation brewing. Bauer hustling back. Nice stop by Mizzle. Chipped away. There it is. Oh, right in the uppers. Loose puck right in the doorstep area. And that was buried with authority. With 4:22 to play, New Prague draws first blood. Not the start the Hornets wanted, but it's Bergmeyer, Ewers, and Wilkins to try to undo the damage. Wilkins now gaining on the left side, knocked off the puck. Ewers in the slot. Can he get the shot off? A dribbler? Yes! No! Wilkins almost over the pads, but no doing here as the Trojans look to break through. Stop short by Potts at the point, wheeling around the circle. There's the center, just a bit off the backside of Ewers. There's another one right in front. Bergmeyer not in position. He couldn't get the pass. Now it's Bergie down low, out front, and it sneaks all the way down. Back to the Hornet tender. Quickie throws it up the wall to Wilkins. Wilkins chips it up the wall. Bergmeyer handles. Stick checked off the puck back to Potter. Potter up to Wilkins. In his skates, couldn't handle it. And the Trojans take over at mid-ice. Rink wide pass, now sent down low. Quickie makes the save. Potts wheels around and sends it over to Potter on the near side. Hornets having trouble in the connecting passes as they can't seem to break it out. Potts from behind the net, slides it to Potter. Potter met by two Trojans as he battles his men in the corner. Kicking, wheeling, dealing, trying to get it out. Both teams battling. Now it's chipped up to Ferrara. Ferrara now wheeling, dealing, slicing through the red line. He's stick checked off the puck. Kind of tripped on his own blade there, and here come the Trojans. There's the drop pass. Long stretch pass. Now it's a quick one to Ferrara. Ferrara's got some speed. Rolling through. Ferrara looking for that wraparound pass to Kavita in the slot. He couldn't find the lumber. Back to Darlene at the point. Looking. All the way down. Banked off. Ferrara in the corner. Looking at his options. Tried to slide it back to Kavita. Held at the point. Darlene shoveled around and he loses it. Darlene walking across the red line, sends it back to Mizzle. Mizzle, quick pass to Ferraro, one-timer to Nolan. Nolan gaining the line, walking in. Nolan firing! Gloved away by the Trojan tender with 2:13 remaining in the first. So we got Ivany, Dorsey, and Hester coming on with Bauer and Potts. Ivany on the drop, sent to the wall. Dorsey sends it back to Bauer. Bauer in his skates, but he does get it back behind the net. Ivany chasing his man, pinning him in the corner. Dorsey in to help out. Puck slings around to the near side as the Trojans look to break out. Puck is sent all the way down, and this should be an icing. And indeed it is. With just less than 2 minutes to play, Hornets got to find that second gear. Ivany on the draw. Dorsey battling his man on the wall. Trying to come away with it. The Trojans now gain control. Flip it up to the right side. Gaining. Rolling down. Bauer's going to be the first man on this puck. Stop short. Potts now picks it up. Looks up ice. Sends it up to Hester. Hester, 3-on-2 situation. Stick checked away. Good job by the Trojans as they send it back down into the Hornet territory. Bauer from behind the net. All the way up to Ivany right there. Tries to sneak it through. Now it's Hester's turn. Up to Ivany. I think that was offsides, but that's all right. Ivany battling his man in the corner. Puck sneaks all the way up. Darlene holds at the point. Long shot. Hits traffic. And the Trojans reverse course. Through the neutral zone as they gain on the right side. Rolling all the way around. Bauer trying to keep his man to the outside. Doing a good job disrupting. Swatted out of the crease area. And it's once again, Hester slides it up. Dorsey now trying to reverse course. Gets it up to Hester. A bit too far. Held on the line. Both teams exchanging blows in the neutral zone. And the puck sneaks back with 45 seconds to play. Potter all the way around to Darlene. Back to Potter. Looking up ice. To Wilkins. Wilkins one touches it to Berge. Stick checked off. One of the Trojans loses it. Here comes Wilkins rolling in on the circle. Fires! There's the rebound. There it is. Up front, nothing. Trojans now on the counter. Working their way up in the waning seconds. Through the red line. Through the blue line. Walking down. A shot. Saved by Quickie. Wilkins now throwing it up on the wall. Pinched and held at the point. Now down low. Darlene does a good job blowing up his man. Trojans still on the puck from the corner. Looking for that centering pass. Behind the net. Sliding it out front, nobody home, and that'll do it for the first. New Prague Trojans 1, Hornets 0, and we'll be back. All right, just about to start the second period. Hornets down a goal, 1-0. Bergmeyer, Ewers, and Wilkins, backed up by Mizzles and Darlene. Puck comes away, back to the Trojan D as they have trouble containing. Thrown up the wall, held now behind the point, the goal. Bergmeyer looking, stick checked off the puck. Wilkins now throws it back to Mizzle. Mizzle throwing it all the way back around, comes around to the near side. Wilkins meets his man. Puck up on the wall. Ewers battling. Thrown off the puck. Both teams exchanging blows here at the mid-ice. Now it's sent up to Ewers, and Ewers throws it right down into the Trojan zone. Puck slides across. Oh, a nice check there by Bergmeyer. He takes a fall too, but well done. Ewers from the corner. Looking to center. Around the net. Looking. Back to Darlene at the circle. Quick shot. There's a tip. It's out front. Nothing. And the Trojans roll through the red line and just slide it down into the Hornet zone. From behind, Mizzle surveys. Looks up ice. A hot pass just beyond Charlie's reach. Thrown all the way right back down, and we get an offsides. So we got Ivany, Dorsey, and Hester on. Backed up by Potter and Potts. Ivany on the drop at center ice. Trojans come away, gain the line, and pitch it right back down into the Hornet zone. Potter rolls it around to Potts. Potts up to Dorsey. Dorsey one touches it, sneaks by. Foot race now. Hester rolls into the zone. Just over his stick, sneaks onto the zone, but there's Potts. And we get an offsides. Just a general lack of cohesion on the Hornet side, as the playmaking is a step behind. Ivany on the draw. Sneaks it up the wall. He's held up on the line, and the Trojans retain control. Throwing it all the way around. Far side corner. Dorsey comes up with it. Snakes it back. Hits the ref, unfortunately. Ivany now holding it down. Pick pocketed, and here come the Trojans. Nice stop by Potts to disrupt that play. Ivany trying to pick it up. Both teams battling on the red line, and now it's sent down into the Hornet zone. Potts picking up behind the net, looks up ice, tries to get it to Hester, sneaks back to the point. Ivany trying to pickpocket, trying to get it to Dorsey, just on his backside, nothing doing. And right back down. Potts held up on the boards. There's an opportunity, but the Trojans were out of position for a shot. Long shot on Quickie. Nothing doing. Potts wheeling and dealing in the corner. Sends it up to Hester. Hester, nice little dipsy-do into the skates. Dorsey picks it up. Dorsey's got to battle like 5 Trojans. Nothing doing as they hold him up on the line. And reverse course, gaining through, slicing and dicing all the way through the blue line, but no pass. Potts from the corner. Trying to roll it up. Pitching it all the way around to Hester. Hester stops short, looks across. Ooh, right in the front. Dorsey's got to come in, pick this one up, and it slid back and recovered by the Trojans. Long shot, tipped. Potts picks it up on the rebound, sends it up the wall. Ivany trying to chip it past and pitch back and forth. Both teams having trouble controlling the puck. Back deep into the Hornet zone. We start again. Potter sliding it over just a bit too far for Ferrara. Hits traffic out front as the Trojans try to center the puck. Potter from behind throws it up the wall. This one sneaks out and it's going to go all the way down. Or an icing with 11:30 left. So we'll have Nolan, Ferrara, and Kervita. Trying to get something going as the puck goes back to the point, slid down behind the net. Darlene meets his man. Kervita working to stop his man back to the point. A long shot, way off target, back to the other point. Slid behind the net. Bauer working his man, trying to get the puck. Now it comes out front, swept away by Bauer. Now, back to the point. Can they hold it? That was offsides, but they called it onside. Nolan recovers. He's got Kervita rolling down the right side. He's pinched off the puck, but there's Kervita from the dot. Looking there. Yes. Oh, Ferrara. Nice redirect, but nothing. Kervita trying to get it back to Darlene. Stick checked away, and Darlene's going to have to come back and reset. Trojans doing a good job holding the Hornets down low. Hornets doing a lot of slapping at the puck. Less possession. As now Darlene starts again, gets it up to Nolan. Nolan through the red line, chips it around. He's going to have some daylight, but he has no help as everyone went off for a line change. Nolan tries to center it with around 5 Trojans in his way. Trojans trying to run the breakout, and it just sneaks past, and they're all going to go for a line change. And we get an icing with 10:13. So Wilkins, Berge, and Ewers, backed up by Mizzle and Potter. Trojans doing their best to work their way through the neutral zone. Mizzle holding them up smartly on the wall. Both teams battling, trying to gain possession. A lot of stick jamming, and the puck sneaks back into the Hornet zone where Potter retrieves behind the net. Looking up ice. A hard pass up on the wall, hard to contain. Comes back to the point for the Trojans. Walking in, legged away by Quickie. Back to the other point, another cranker. Dribbles aside. Potter back behind the net. Stolen by a Trojan. He's knocked off the puck. And the Hornets are just having a heck of a time doing the breakout. Ewers up on the near side wall, held at the point. Tried to snake it through to Wilkins. Intercepted by the Trojans. And they pull themselves off sides. So we got Ivany, Dorsey, and Hester, backed up by Bauer and Potts. just outside the Hornet zone. Sneaks back to Bauer. Bauer surveys. On the backside of Dorsey, and this one's going to sneak into the Trojan zone. Off the wall, Trojans looking to break through. Wheeling around, they have a 3-on-2, but it's stopped short by Bauer. Bauer looks up ice. Long stretch pass up to Ivany. Ivany races into the zone. Cut short, on the circle, fires, stick checked away. Hester meeting his man on the wall. Dorsey battles, trying to get it down low. Hester doing the same. Poking, banging, and the puck sneaks back all the way down for an icing. .8:42 left in the second. And we'll do it again. Trojans control behind the net, looking to break out. Long pass held at the point by Bauer. Bauer tries to chisel it up the wall, and it's out of play. Ivany sliding back to Dorsey. Dorsey curls around from the circle. Looks. Now brings it down low. Tries to center it. Couldn't get a blade on it. And he's rubbed off the puck. Hester in to help out. Both teams tying it up behind the boards. Trojans come away. Sliding it up now. Looking for a breakout. Trojans with numbers as they roll through the neutral zone. Sliding all the way to Bauer. Here's a 2-on-1. Nice save. There's a rebound. Nothing. Bauer on the pickup. Transition time. Ivany rolling. He's got to beat 4 Trojans as he rolls in. Yes, no, and he's nailed and taken off, and the net came off its moorings, and all hell's broken loose on that one. But Ivany had no help. So we got Nolan, Kavita, and Ferrara backed up by Darlene and Mizzle. Try to get something going here in the second frame. Mizzle holds the puck on the line. Now it sneaks out. And the Trojans roll through, gain on the left side. Trying to get around Darlene. Trying to center. Swatted away by Kavita. And the puck is off the mooring, or the net is off the moorings on this side. Nolan on the draw, comes away to Darlene. Darlene swings around the net, looks at his options. Sends it over to Kavita, or Mizzle. Mizzle, long stretch pass, intercepted in the slot, saved by Quickie. Well done, dangerous, as Mizzle tries to work his man. Darlene now, sliding it up to Kavita. Kavita through the neutral zone. Sneaks all the way around. He's knocked out the puck, but Darlene is there in the trailer. Looking to center, all the way around. There it is out front. There's Kavita. Fires. Yes, Kavita, did you see that? He had the lane. He had the shot. Fox won. Away. Target destroyed. And this game is tied. Maybe this is just the shot the Hornets need. Start playing some hockey here. Bergmeyer, Ewers, and Wilkins come on. Ewers on the right side, gaining, knocked off the puck. Trailer now, Charlie from the corner. He's knocked off the puck. Recovering. Both men battling. Trojans doing their best to disrupt play. Now it comes into the slot. Bergmeyer chips it down, saves it into the zone. Trojans now flinging it all the way down. Quickie makes the stop. Potts around the net. Sends it up to Ewers. Now up to Bergmeyer. He couldn't make the back connection pass. Potts dangerous in the zone. Another Trojans get a shot on net. Legged away by Quickie. As both teams battle for possession. Defense pinches up. Ewers doing a good job, sliding it over to Wilkins. All the way across. Wilkins battling his man. He throws it into the Trojan zone. Long stretch pass goes to nobody. And this one goes all the way down for an icing at 6:17 of the second. Score is 1-1. As Ivany, Hester, and Dorsey come on. Tied up on the dot, naked in the slot, and here come the Trojans with numbers. 3-on-2 situation, gaining on the left side, long shot into the equipment. Hester now ties it up, tries to get it up to Dorsey. Dorsey tries again. Couldn't quite find the handle as the Trojans now have it buried in their zone. Puck sneaks out to the red line. Donnelly throws it all the way back to Bauer. Bauer from in front of the net, swings around, looks for his options. And the puck just gets dished right back down. Puck up on the wall to Dorsey. Dorsey, quick pass into the skates. Ivany couldn't find the handle, and it's sent right back down. I'm just going to keep repeating that because that's what seems to be happening every 10 seconds. Bauer, swinging it all the way around to Dahlin on the near side. Dahlin looks up the ice. Long waffle pass. This one's going to sail through and go all the way down, but no icing. Hester, first man on the puck, retrieved by the Trojans. Now they look to break out. Long stretch pass up to the red line, gaining on the right side. Looking. There it is out front. Sticked away. Dorsey now from the corner. Puck to nowhere, held in the slot, banked away by Bauer. Boy, both teams, just the Keystone Cops out here. Dorsey sliding over to Hester. Hester rolling in. Can he get there? He's pinched off the play, and the Hornets go for a line change. Hester still on the puck, battling a super tall guy. Mizzle now from the corner to Hester. Hester wheeling and dealing, kicking his skates all the way back to Potts. Potts jams it up the wall, sneaks past Kurvita, and all the way down to Quick. Quick paddles it up to Potts. Potts now looking, slides it up to Mizzle. Mizzle, long pass intercepted in the slot area. Here's an opportunity for the Trojans as they work it. And an errant shot goes awry. Another shot. Sticked aside by Quickie into the webbing with 4:18 to play. Nolan steps in on the draw. Ferrara tries to meet his man. The puck skitters behind the net. Trojans control from the corner. Potts meets his man, ties him up, controls the puck, tries to jam it through. And the Trojans roll from the corner again. Looking for that centering pass. It's out front. Stopped short. Still working it. Still controlling from the other corner as Bauer ties his man up. Now it's Nolan. Nolan sends it to Kurvita. Kurvita jams it over just a bit too far for Ferrara. And the Trojans reverse course. All the way down. Nice job by Ferrara. Sends it up to Kurvita. Kurvita 1-on-2. Tries to roll through, but he gains the line. All the way across. Oh, and Ferrara too hot to handle. Nice opportunity as Nolan now from the circle. Jams it down low. Ferrara now centers it out front to Kurvita on his backhand side. He couldn't get any wood on it. Trojans reverse course. Rolling through the red line. Tough time handle it. And here's an opportunity. Rolling through in the slot. And turned away by the Hornets. From the corner, Nolan digging in. Potts giving him a hand. Both teams trying to gain possession. Bauer from behind the net, looking up ice. Sends a waffle up the wall, held at the red line and thrown right back down. Or an icing. With 2:52 remaining. Berge on the drop. He's got Ewers. He's got Wilkins backed up by Dahlin and Mizzle. Hornets throwing it in from the neutral zone. Sticked aside by the Trojan tender. Wilkins from the corner. Looking to center. No one out front. Still behind. Now it's Ewer's turn. Tries to send it out front. Nice stop by the Trojan defender. Ewer's doing a good job holding it. Good job by the Trojans to keep it out of the slot area. And now they roll into the zone where Mizzle picks up behind. Trojans from behind the net, looking to center. Mizzle tying up his man. Potts in to help out. Puck sneaks back. Nice little chip shot over by Ewers. It's a foot race. Ewers is boxed out. Slides it over to Wilkins. Wilkins fires. No rebound opportunity in the offing. Nice little combination with 1:58 to play. So we got Ivany, Hester, and Dorsey coming on with Potts and Potter. Ivany on the draw, to the wall, back to Potts. Potts tries to jam it up. He's going to have to recollect all the way back to Potter. Potter turns, burns, looks, reverses course again, sends it to Hester. Hester squeaks it through and he loses his stick into the bench. Right to his teammate. It's kind of funny. And for whatever reason, the Trojans are being shown the gate. We'll see what the call is here. High sticking. So, with 1:40 left, the Hornets will be on the man advantage for the first time, I believe, this game. Face off to the right of the Trojan tender. Ivany on the draw. Picks up his own tie-up. And the Trojans throw it out and send it all the way down. Potter collects behind the net, surveys. Up to Potts, back to Potter, back to Potts. Potts looking up ice, hassled by a Trojan. Hornets have to remember they're on the power play as it's sent back down around to Potter. Let's try this again. Potter now through the neutral zone, wheels his way down, stopped by the ref a little bit, wheels around, sent all the way down. Hester tries to get there. He's boxed out by a tall guy, and this is going to sneak out of the zone. Less than a minute to play. Potter from the D, up to Dorsey. Dorsey chips it up the wall, gains the line, stops short, leaves it to Potts. Knocked up, that should be a hand pass, but it's not. Rolling in, Trojans. Easy save by Quickie, and now Ivany on the reverse. Ivany through the red line, gaining on the left side. He's got two helpers. Stick checked away and sent all the way down for an icing. So, 0 shots so far on this power play. So we just can't find the possession hockey that we need. Starts with the breakout. Hornets got to do a better job. So we got Nolan, Kervita, and Ferrara backed up by Mizzle and Darlene for the final 26 seconds of this period. Good job by Darlene to hold his own. Nolan from the high slot. Saved by the Trojan tender. And we'll do it again. Nolan on the draw, sent back to Darlene. Darlene walks across the line, fires. It's in. Did you see that? Yes. Mishandled by the Tendy. Looks like he made the initial shot, but who cares? Hornets 2, New Prague 1, with 12 seconds left. This is the momentum needed as we work into the break for the Zamboni. Well done, Darlene. Nolan gets tossed out of the circle for not lining up correctly. Kind of funny. Puck skitters into the Trojan zone momentarily with 4 seconds to play. Nolan handling it, and that's going to cash this period. So there you have it. Hornets up 2-1 on a lackluster game so far from both sides. But stay tuned. You never know. Could get exciting. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Okay, about to get underway with the third period. This District 6 contest against the New Prague Trojans. The Hornets are up 2-1. And here we go. Mizzle looks up ice, gets it to Ewers. Ewers slides it through and gains a line on the right side. 3-on-1 situation. There's firing shot, a rebound, nothing. And the Trojans look to reverse course the other way. Well done there by Bergmeyer to hold it in the zone from the corner, looking to center, back to Ewers. Ewers looks, right into the slot area, turned away by the Trojans as they reverse course through the neutral zone. Softly skittering down into the Hornet zone, Darlene sends it across to Mizzle. Mizzle from the near side, looks up ice. A little pass there and just on Bergmeyer's backside, and it goes right back down in the Hornet zone. Mizzle throwing it to Darlene. Darlene looks, rink wide, all the way over to Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer sending it down into the Trojan zone, and the Hornets go for a partial line change. Hester on the wall, battling his man to Dorsey. Dorsey sneaks around the net, looking to center, looking, shovels it back, all the way back to Potts. Back to Dorsey. Dorsey out in front. Ivany couldn't turn the corner. Dorsey on the wall, banging away, still held, sneaks out of the zone. Good job there by Hester to throw it back to the D. Potter looking up ice, miscued on the pass, and the Trojans hold the zone. From the point, walking across the blue line, looking for a lane, all the way around. Dorsey holding his man. Back to the point. Long shot, off target, back to the other point as they slide it right back down into the corner. Ivany and Potter meet their man, and we're going to get something, a little cross-check action going on. Hornet fans not too pleased with that call. I don't know who. Somebody got the call.
They weren't even anywhere near.
Hester's going to serve it. I don't think he had anything to do with it. The ref said, "I want a warm body." So the Hornets will be down a man. As Ivany and Dorsey look to kill this one off. I'm not sure. Miscue on the draw. Ref didn't appreciate the pounding of the sticks by the Trojan bench. This could get saucy. Who knows? Ivany on the draw. Puck tied up on the dot. All the way around. Trojans holding in the corner. Looking at their options. Sliding it on the wall. Ivany trying to chip it up. Held on the circle. Looking into the high slot. Back to the point. A cranker. Stopped short by Bauer. Bauer throws up to Ivany. Quick to Dorsey. Dorsey slides it through. Dorsey rolling in. Can you get there, Dorsey? Fire it. No. Held short on the wall, and here come the Trojans rolling back the other way with numbers. 4-on-2 situation brewing. Held back right at the point. Slipped away by Darlene. Still held. No, that was out. Hornet fans voicing their displeasure at what was clearly an offsides. But I digress. Puck slides back to the point. Trojans go D to D. Right back down to the circle. On the dot, a firing shot, a dribbler. And covered up by Quickie. So Nolan and Ferrara in to cover and take care of this penalty. Backed up by Potter and Mizzle. Ferrara on the draw. We're going to do it again. Ferrara's getting tossed out. I don't know. Tossed out of the circle. And Nolan will step in to take this one. Puck slides back to the point. They go D to D to the high slot. Long shot. Off target. Rebound comes away to the Trojans from the corner. Banged off the puck. Mizzle working his man, keeping him to the outside. Smashing him down with authority. Trojans now still controlling from the corner. Trying to center. There it is out front. Swept away by Ferrara and dished out of the zone by Nolan. Well done on the defense there. Trojans regrouping in their own zone as they roll through the neutral zone. Checking back up, looking for lanes, looking for options, and Ferrara doing a great job pinning him down low. Wasting good time. Now the Trojans come. 3-on-2 situation, odd man rush, rolling over the blue line, stopping short, back to the point. Trying to slide it around, doing so, back behind the net, looking for a lane. All the way around, all the way. Hornets in a four-corner. Nice job there by Nolan, stick checking it off the puck and keeping it out of the zone. Trojans resetting. Going D to D. Mishandling the puck. Good job by Charlie to hold him down low. Rink wide pass. Trojans now through the red line. Long shot. Ooh, a little weird bounce. And Potter's got to collect behind the net. Sliding up to Wilkins. Wilkins now all the way through. Stick. And we get some sort of something. I don't know what that was, but there is a whistle. 11:04 left, 2-1. And what could best be characterized as a sloppy game. Bergmeyer on the draw. Tied up on the circle. Back to Bauer, who slides it over to Potts. Potts through the red line. He's going to take it through, sliding it down all the way down to the corner. And the Trojans dish it around to the near side corner. Trojans looking on the break, slicing through the red line now. It's the Trojans wheeling all the way through, slapped away by Bauer. Nice job there to collapse right in the slot. Hornets still having a hard time breaking out of the zone as both teams now full strength. Bauer from the corner, sliding up to Wilkins. Wilkins now headmans up to Nolan, or Ewers, just a bit too far, and is right back down into the Hornet zone. Bauer from behind the net. Let's do this once more. Bauer all the way up on the wall to Bergmeyer. He can't find it in his skates, and the Trojans slip it back into the Hornet zone. Bauer leaves it to Potts. Potts whiffs on the pass, and here's a shorty shot. Can they get it through? Nice leg. No. Yes. Out of the zone. Certain peril there as the Trojans and the Hornets are tied up behind the net. Ivany comes in to pinch his man. Potts comes in, and now it's slammed around by Bauer all the way down, and we should get an icing, and we do with 9:41 on the clock. So Dorsey, Hester, and Ivany backed up by Mizzle and Darlene. Ivany on the draw. Comes back to Darlene. Darlene from behind the net. Assesses his options. Up to Dorsey on the wall. Dorsey looks. Tries to chip it up. He does far side to Hester. Hester races in. Defers. Back to Ivany. Ivany banged off the puck. Still holding it down in the corner as he's knocked off the puck. Not a lot of helpers out there as the Trojans come away in reverse course. Through the red line. Slammed out by Mizzle. Good check. Still held by the Trojans down low. Looking to center. A short side shot. Nothing. Mizzle now. Long stretch pass. Just a bit too far for Ivany. And the Trojans control in the neutral zone. Long stretch pass. Doesn't connect. Darlene will be the first man there. Slams it up to Hester. Hester wheels around, dances across the blue line, gains on the right side, sneaks past the big guy who tried to lay the wood. Hester stops short. Now he gets his justice, and the Trojan knocks Hester off the puck. Saucer pass up, all the way up, going to be met by Potter. Nice job by Potter to slam that puck right up on the wall. Ivany trying to roll into the zone. He's stopped short. And the Trojans collect and ring it around the opposite side to start their breakout. Up on the wall, pinched by Kurvita. Back to Potts. Potts throws it down to Ivany. Ivany trying to work the puck. He slid off, and it sneaks up. And here come the Trojans on a 3-on-2 break. Stopping short. on the line. Trojans dish it back. Rolling in on the circle. Nice toe drag. A shot off the clanker. That was a true clanker. And we got a face off to the left of Quickie with 7:59. Nolan on the draw. Slides to the wall. Potter meets his man. Back to the point. They try to dish it down low. It's held on the wall. Puck sneaks behind the net. Back to the point. A cranker. Another clanker. That was a low clanker. Now, Potter holding his man. Pinching him right in the corner. Nolan comes in to help out. Nolan now works across the slot area, looking up ice. He's going to take it himself through the neutral zone. Wheeling and dealing, slicing and dicing. All the way down, trying to center it with one arm. Can't quite get the wood on it. As Ferrara pins his man to the boards. Trojans come away. Advancing through the red line, all the way down. Potts trying to hold his man to the outside. A shot goes sailing over the net as Ferrara dishes back to Potter. Potter slams it up to Ferrara. Ferrara, nice pass there to Kavita. Couldn't quite hold it, but he holds it in his stick. All the way around with Lumber. It's out front. Nolan, backhand. Nolan, nothing. Kavita trying. Everyone trying to get it out front. A lot of opportunities there. Hornets just couldn't put it away. Here come the Trojans. Rolling through 2-on-2 as they race down all the way across. His line mates go off for a line change, and the puck sails harmlessly into the corner. From behind the net, there's the centering pass. A leg save by Quickie. And Ferrara tries a long stretcher to Nolan, just beyond his stick. And the sloppy play continues, as now Kavita shovels it all the way down. Icing is called off. Darlene first there, he overskates it, and the Trojans advance past the other way. Last man back, Bauer shovels it down into the Trojan zone, where the Hornets give chase. Long stretch pass, a bit too far for the Trojan offenseman. Darlene is there, scoops it up, brings it behind the net, rings it around for Wilkins. Wilkins now on the wall, stick checked off. Bauer sends it down, pitchfork held on the red line. And we get an offsides. With 5:49, Hornets holding the slimmest of margins. Bergmeyer on the draw, Ewers into chase. Puck held up on the red line and squirts back into the Hornet zone. Mizzled from behind the net. Sends it up to Wilkins on the wall, a bit too far. Held by the point, right in front. There it is. Rebound, Mayhem. Covered up by Quick. So face out to the right of Quick. Bergmeyer on the draw, sends it to the wall. Potts tries to chip it up and chisel. And the puck gets sent back, and Quickie covers up. So we'll do it again. Bergie on the drop. Puck tied up on the dot. Scrummos a foot. Chipped up by Ewers. Bergmeyer tries to slide it across to Wilkins. Here's a break for Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer rolls in. Bergmeyer! Why didn't that puck go in? I don't know. It looked like he went right through the 5-hole, but somehow the Trojan tender got enough leather on it to keep it out of the back of the net. Some sort of force field was employed. I don't know. But anyway, line change. We got Ivan D. Dorsey and Hester on, backed up by Potter and Darlene. Puck covered up by a very tired Trojan Tendy. Puck into the corner, slid behind the net. Dorsey into the corner to meet his man. Comes away with it on the dot, loses it. Ivany now sends it down low. He whiffs on the pass. All the way down to Hester. Hester curls around. He's battled off the puck by some bigger dudes. Sent up the wall and sneaks out of the zone. It was a bit too far for Potter to contain. And we get an icing with 4:39. Hornets still clinging to a 2-1 lead. Irony sending it back to Potter. Potter throwing it up the wall to Dorsey. Dorsey working the wall, sent back to Potter. Potter shovels it down low into the opposite corner where the Trojans pick it up. They send it around the near side wall, sliding up, looking to break out. Long stretch pass intercepted by Hester. Up in the air, Ivany bats it down on the line, and the Trojans come away. Sliding through, getting on the... Here's an opportunity for the Hornets as Dorsey slides up the right side. He's got Hester, but he cannot find the wood on the handle. He tries to dish it back to nobody, and here come the Trojans back the other way. All the way around, looking to center, looking, held to the outside by Mizzle. Nice job as Dulling comes and whacks his man. Right out front again, picked up, slid up to Ivany. Ivany rolling. Ivany with speed all the way around. He's got Hester, knocked off the puck at the last moment. All the way back, and Bauer's going to have to race after this one. He gets there first, but it's still there. There's a side shot. Bounced off. A lot of hitting going on, and there will be a penalty. So, New Prague getting a cross-checking penalty. Not happy about it. With 3:30 left, it does not help their cause to even up this score. Nolan, Kravita, and Ferrara in, backed up by Mizzle and Bauer. Nolan on the draw. Ref having a heart-to-heart with the Trojan Tendy. I don't know what that's all about, but here we go. Trojans controlling from the corner, ring it up on the boards. Held by Mizzle on the wall. Nolan sends it down to Ferrara. Both men battling on the puck. It's going to come back to Mizzle. Mizzle walks in, fires, down low. There it is. Oh, Kravita couldn't find the handle. Mizzle again. Send it over the net. Now to Nolan. Short side shot does nothing, and Bauer throws it down to the corner. Kravita all the way across, up into the spectator seating with 3:04 to play. Face off to the left of the Trojan tender. Nolan on the draw. Tied up on the dot. Nolan comes away, working the circle. Skating across into the high slot, down low. There it is, a short side stuffer. Couldn't turn the corner on it. Sneaks out of the zone, and Mizzle will have to collect. Mizzle looks up ice, leaves it for Bauer. Bauer circling, wheeling and dealing. There it is to Ferrara. Ferrara just a bit too far. Kicked up by Bauer. And we get an offsides. 2:38 remains. 1:08 in the penalty. Hornets still on the man advantage as Ewers, Wilkins, and Bergmeyer come in. Backed up by Potter and Darlene. Wilkins rolls across the red line, gains on the left side, stops short on the line, and he pulled his men off sides. He'll do it again. Puck back to Potter. Potter now advances on the right side, gaining the line, sneaks around his man who tried to put the wood on. Potter now from the corner, wheels, deals, looks, surveys, all the way back, sneaks around to Ewers. Ewers from the wall, sends it all the way back to Darlene. Darlene back to Ewers. Ewers now slides it into the slot, intercepted by the Trojans as he rolls down. Ewers tries to work his man. Wilkins helping out. Darlene pinches his man off the puck. Long stretch pass all the way up to Wilkins. Wilkins rolling. Wilkins. Oh! Oh, what? No, nothing. Hey, folks, it's still 2-1. I'm just saying. As Ivany, Dorsey, and Hester come on with less than 2 minutes to play. Back to the point. Mizzle looks. Long shot. Off to the side. Trojans now collect on the wall, and they look to break out and slide it all the way past. And this will go for an icing. Eight seconds left in the man advantage for the Hornets. $1:38 on the clock. Puck comes to the wall. Hester wheeling around the circle, looking to center the pass. Out front, banging away, nothing. Trojans recover. Long saucer pass, tipped up. Nice stop by Potts, who throws it right back down into the Trojan zone, but we have an offsides. So both teams at full strength. With 1:22 on the clock. Everything in the draw, puck comes away to the Trojans, who throw it down deep into the Hornet zone. Darling collects behind the net, slides it back to Bauer. Bauer now chipping it up the wall, a bit too far for Hester. Trojans control the zone, they throw it right back down deep. Right out front, no connection, but still in the high slot. Back to the point, a cranker! Glove down, but still banging, nothing, banging. Sent out by Hester, well done. Back to the point, another long shot, another tip, nothing. Darlene now settles in the corner and whacks it up. Still held on the line, pinched. Hester working it, back to Darlene. Darlene now trying to get it up, whiffs, now centers it up. Glove down, still in the high slot, banged away by Darlene. There it is out front, nobody home. Ivany in his shirt or something, I don't know. It's banging up on the wall. 27 seconds left as it rings around to the far side, but held at the point, a cranker. No tip out front. Now it's Ivany's turn. He slides it and sends it all the way down to an empty net, and it off the clanker! I thought baseball was a game of inches, but now it's hockey. Certified clanker. 15 seconds left on the clock. Nolan in on the draw. Bauer sliding it around the net to Darlene. Darlene, now his turn. It's going down. It's going. It's not going. And we get another icing. With 7.5 ticks. Last ditch chance for the Trojans as they try to center it. Hornets now chip it out of the zone. This one's sliding, and that's your game. 2-1 victory for the Hornets as they stop their skid at 2 and get back into the win column. A game best characterized as meh. Meh is the operative word here. As the Hornets never really found their stride, but they found enough to win. But as they say in District 6, a win is a win. I don't know when the next game is, so stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.